Good morning, all you beautiful people. Today's daily reflection for 29 October 2020, our survival. Let's go. Well, good morning, folks. Before I begin, I just want to thank a few people at Reddit and at Twitter and at Instagram and even on Facebook. A post that I posted last night set off a firestorm of responses, and I'm grateful to be a part of your recovery or a part of your start to recovery. Look, one sober to another here, we're all about honesty, and we're going to get into that real quick, like our survival. Since recovery from alcoholism is life itself to us, it is imperative that we preserve in full strength our means of survival. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 177. The honesty expressed by members of Alcoholics Anonymous in meetings has the power to open my mind. Nothing can block the flow of energy that honesty carries with it. The only obstacle to this flow of energy is inebriation. But even then, no one will find a closed door if he or she has left and chooses to return. Once he or she has received the gift of sobriety, each member is challenged on a daily basis to accept the program of honesty. My higher power created me for a purpose in life. I ask him to accept my honest efforts to continue on my journey in the spiritual way of life. If I call on him for strength to know and seek his will. If you're not into that whole Alcoholics Anonymous thing, put this in your support group and your recovery group that is working for you. But I will say that Alcoholics Anonymous is full of people who have experienced alcoholism and have been drunk and have come back and have had trials and tribulation. And so is Narcotics Anonymous if, AA is not your thing or your deal. And, it's all about getting honest with yourself. If we are not honest about the things that we did and the faults that we have and the people that we hurt, then we can't start to heal. We cannot. So you have to look left and right. And if one of those people are someone that you damaged along your way in your disease, it is up to you to admit that to that person, and, not only to them, to yourself first, and then if you believe in God or a higher power, then you spit that out there too, because that's kind of a step 5. And if you're not familiar with that, you can hit up the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and check that out. You have to admit to yourself, to God, and to another human being the exact natures of your wrongs in order to progress in your recovery, because looking at those defects is what's going to give you that opportunity to heal inside. A lot of this is always geared toward Alcoholics Anonymous, but that's not always the case, and that doesn't have to be your thing. But the lessons and the daily reflections is something that you can apply throughout your life, not only as a recovery to your drink or drug, but in your daily life. Think about it. If we are able to be honest about small things, then we can be honest about the larger problems that either we cause or exist, instead of ignoring them like we did in our drinking days or our drugging days. For instance, when I was a kid, I think I was 6 or 7, I was playing with matches because I like the way when you strike them on the back of the pack, and if you know what I'm talking about, you're kind of old school like me. And you just watch it, zoom, and it zooms off like a little rainbow. It was pretty awesome. But what I did was I forgot to put one out all the way, and I started a fire in the middle of this house. The whole house was burning. And once we all got outside and literally watched it burn down, my father asked me, he's like, "Were you upstairs playing with matches again?" And I was like, "Nope, sure wasn't," because I didn't want to get in trouble, right? Well, those are the same types of lies that we tell ourselves in our active diseases, as well as, even in, sobriety. it is when we start to acknowledge those and we start to get honest with ourselves and we stop lying to ourselves like children that we can actually start to heal. And I used that heal twice already, and that's because this is where this really goes for me. You know, we are quite childlike, and the only thing that can inhibit our sobriety or inhibit our growth and recovery is to be drunk or be high or have your mind clouded with things that, you know, block true knowledge of yourself. And, you know, I was talking to this guy on Reddit yesterday, and he was asking me about, you know, why people think that, you know, he's mean, and they think that he makes them feel worthless, and they don't want to speak to him, to include his sister, and that really hurt him. She felt that he made her feel worthless. You know, that's what we do as active alcoholics and addicts, is we dismiss people real quick. If you don't fit into the equation of my drink or my high, I don't need you in my life. And that's the way I used to think as well. And I did that for a long time, and I ignored all the real truth that was going on. You know, and I lost my wife and my son for a better part of 2 years for that, because they didn't fit into the equation. My drink was number one, and I wasn't able to be honest about that either. I dismissed it as they were just being angry at me for doing what I deserved because I was a soldier, or doing what I deserved because I work hard. You know, and a lot of you might be able to relate to that as well, is that, you know, you deserve that drink because you work hard, or you deserve it because of this, or you deserve it because of that. That's the way our brain operates in alcoholism or addiction. And it's not until you're able to acknowledge that, looking inward like I had to, and I'm not here to lecture, I'm just putting my experience out there. Once I got honest about it, and I got honest about the people that I hurt, and the people that I dismissed, and the people that I used as stepping stones to my drink or my high, I was able to start growing. And I went to Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, and there I sat amongst a whole bunch of people that were doing the same thing to people in their lives. The difference is that they were able to be honest about it, and they were able to put it on the table. And that's the beauty of, you know, attending those meetings and everything else, is that you're around other people who are living a life of rigorous honesty. And that's where today's daily reflection lies for me, is our survival. You know, if you are able to be honest about the small things in your life, and about the bigger things, and even about yourself, your flaws and defects, then you are able to grow. And that's where you will find true sobriety and be able to live in sobriety versus struggle to get sober. I don't know, just food for thought. You guys chew on that. You have a good day, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm Wayne, and I'm an alcoholic. Bye-bye.